Okay, here's the outside of the main Nazi rallying area. Nuremberg was a very important city. Here's the lake right outside of it. Nuremberg was a really important city in the German Third Reich. A lot of their headquarters and rally points and festivals and stuff were all done over here in Nuremberg, which I think it was their mayor, or maybe it was Hitler, said the most German of German cities. Kind of inflated propaganda talk. But back to my last little political rant. It's the similarities between what's happening in our country and what went down in Germany are disgusting. And the fact that the Germans, they put a lot of the blame and burden on the Jews, and we now put it on the Muslims. You know, it's like picking an arbitrary enemy and then just that's your main problem and who you need to fight and who you need to kill. We're killing tons of innocent civilians in those Muslim countries, and for what? Nothing. Nothing's getting accomplished by that. So that's just another example of what our government's doing and what the Nazis did. But it's a very serene setting. I wonder, there's got to be huge pike in this lake. I would give my left nut to go for about 2 hours, a couple spinners, throw them, and bust out a huge giant German pike. But yeah, I had other examples. I'm drawing a blank, but just want you to show you this interesting area in Nuremberg, Germany. A little history. Obviously, when you come in Germany and Europe, it's packed with history. It's funny, I was reading a brochure and it's like, oh yeah, we're not quite 1,000 years old yet, but we still have a little history, which is funny because America's only since 1970 or 1776, so it's only about 235 years old. Not even a quarter of the history of Nuremberg, and not even a tenth of Athens history. So we're a young country, came to dominance very quickly, very fast, and just as fast it appears that we're going to lose all that. Why? Because we've gotten away from what our forefathers really taught and kind of founded the country on. It's a little couple pieces of paper called a Constitution and the Bill of Rights. Those really today, unfortunately, in our political system have been just eradicated and not used. There is one man that does believe still in that, what the forefathers believed in. His name's Ron Paul. Hope to God you wake up, do a little research. You will not find barely anything about Ron Paul in the mainstream media because the mainstream media doesn't want him to win. He doesn't fit into the big agenda that they have planned for you. He's probably the number one guy that could cause a lot of problems for the power elite if he ever got into power, because he isn't going to play the games. He hasn't sold his soul to the devil. He cares about the country. The man's a doctor. He actually understands finances, unlike the other puppets that have been in there. So please do some investigating. Tons of information. Just listen to Ron Paul. Just check him out on YouTube. Tons of clips. Listen to the man speak. He's not a teleprompter junkie. He just speaks from his own mind. So if you're into a guy that thinks for himself, appreciates the country the way it used to be, consistently votes to reduce government size, spending, pull everyone out of all the troops out of all wars, reduce the size of government, get back to having all the freedoms and rights we used to have, then you'll like Ron Paul. But if you like not having any rights, freedoms, and having a puppet leader, then vote Romney or Rick Pile of Poo Perry. Those douchebags would be more like your pick if you don't feel like really caring and loving your country. I'll bring you some more videos, but here, just kind of a serene setting for a really crazy time and spot in history here in Germany.